Episode 10.
Episode 10.
We did it, baby.
We've done it. This
Mama, we did it.
Oh, God, dude.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. I mean, what a fucking delight, you know?
It's been a ride. It's been good. I've actually had a great time. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Tell me what your favorite episode was.
My favourite episode...
Yeah.
This is so selfish, but the one where we fucking just laughed.
Oh, 100%. That was
I
amazing.
mean, we laughed for the whole... That was an hour and 15 minutes, that episode.
That was the longest one.
I mean, I had to go off camera and wipe my face. Like, that's how... I like started snottering and all that.
But I think that's the only episode where we've had a couple of beers before. Did we not have a beer before that?
I had a shandy.
Oh, right. All right.
You had...
Can you remind me what a shandy is? It's a beer with lemonade?
Like lager and then... it's like lager and then lemonade. It's like half.
Sprite?
Yeah.
I've never had one.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Literally who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still very cold in this country, by the way. I just want to point that out.
It is cold.
Whew,
so...
Wow. I'm trying to warm my hands real fast.
Yeah. I mean, it would have helped if you'd had some hair on your arms.
Or my head.
Yeah, for that matter, yeah.
Fucking hell, I got more on my cheeks than I got my fucking brain. Anyways, tell me what's going on. Tell me how work's been.
Well, work's been good. We've got a lot going on, which we talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
Again, nothing's progressed because we only just filmed the last episode. But we've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm going away to Dubai on Sunday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
that's going to be amazing,
that'll be good. I'm looking forward to getting some heat.
Yeah.
Rather than this. I mean, it's cold.
I'll hold down the fort here, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still be doing what I got to do, but but yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
How many days are you gonna go?
I'm going Sunday till Friday.
Okay, nice.
I'll leave on Sunday. I don't get there till Monday morning, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going with my dad and my brother.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Family vacay,
like a boys trip.
Family vacay, 2K24.
Hell yeah.
It's an American thing.
My stomach. I don't know if the mic's picking this up, but my stomach is rumbling so much.
Oh man, I heard that from here.
I'm starving. So yeah, that's what's been going on. What about you? What's been going on? What have you got coming up?
This coming up, I've just got a lot of work to do.
You and me both, bud.
So I'm planning on going to Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on going to Mexico.
Sombrero.
Tequila. I don't know. That's terrible. Okay, all right. Let's stop
Calm down, bud.
Okay. So I'm going to Mexico. Viva la Mexico. Yep. Probably on the 29th. Oh, yeah. I'll be going nuts.
Oh, yeah.
So so that'll be nice. I'm very excited about that. And then I'll come back here for a little while. And then, I'll probably have to split my time between UK, Florida and Mexico. What the fuck were you gonna ask me?
So in the last episode, I left you guys on a cliffhanger. I mean, I'm saying you guys, probably maybe some females watching, hopefully.
Yeah, come on now.
But on top of that, I don't even know if anyone's watching. So, but the question that I was going to ask Callum is, in your opinion, now everyone's opinion's different on this topic.
Okay.
Do you think it's easier for someone to become more successful if they weren't brought up within a family of success, or if they were totally spoiled their whole life?
I think that it is easier for an individual who... All right, so the way I would kind of phrase this is, the 1 in a million people that, make it out of their town and stuff like that. Well, if you live in a town like New York City or Glasgow, you're probably going to be one of 20 or 30 then. Whereas if you come from, Palm City, Florida, where I grew up, there's not a million people there. So you're 1 in a million person that comes out of that environment. Now, this is a bad example because it's a pretty good area. But my point being that the person who makes it out of there is truly 1 in a million, and they will be special in whatever they're doing. You see where I'm kind of going with this?
No, you've just not even answered the question.
What was the question?
The question was, do you think it's...
Wait, what the fuck?
Do you think it's easier to become successful if you have, one, kind of gone through poverty,
Yes.
or 2, been spoiled your whole life?
Obviously, my obvious to me, but I think the first one is the obvious answer.
Yeah. So the thing that I find difficult about this question is, I mean, it doesn't even need to be spoiled their whole life, but if you've been brought up within a successful family, or if
saying,
you've
like,
gone through
affluent?
poverty. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that if it's in the middle and it's just like, if it's a successful family but the child hasn't been spoiled, then they've got the best chance of success.
yes.
But I think a child that's been spoiled and been given everything, like we touched on in the last episode,
Yeah.
like a trust fund child kind of
Yeah.
thing, I think they've got no hope in hell of ever
Yeah.
doing anything for them. They can't even wipe their own ass.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna take this pretty close to home. This could be dangerous, but
Okay.
I mean, I went to school with people similar to that sort of description.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're ever gonna watch this, but if they did, you know, like those people exist. I know what they're like.
Yeah.
And you know, they were pretty much just used by everybody else.
Yeah.
And you could tell that there was a lot of holes in their heart and holes in their life that they could not fill
Yeah.
because daddy didn't want them that much. Sorry.
So, and this comes back to the point that we've talked about a couple of times before, is that successful people have to sacrifice relationship with their kids. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe their dad wasn't around so he felt bad, so it was, here's money, here's
Yeah.
$2,000, here's 10 grand, here's 50 grand, you know, depending on how much money they've
Because
got.
they just assume that will fix the relationship. And that's where things get really difficult. So now the benefit for people like ourselves is, so we've probably seen people like that going through those circumstances. And we understand that it's not that easy. Like you can figure out how to do both of those.
Yeah.
And it's obviously up to the individual to decide whether they want to or not. But we are exposed to more information. We can handle that a little bit differently, or at least talk about it differently.
Yeah. I think it's tough. I think that the two extremes are hard. Like extreme poverty, you've probably got not that high a chance of coming out of that. And extreme like trust fund kid spoiled, you're not really getting out of that.
I mean, the saddest thing is
where I
grew up, in West Palm Beach area, the people who are brought up in very unfortunate circumstances, they only focus on becoming some sort of an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
That's the outlet. Some of the best NFL football players and basketball players have come out of my area of South Florida.
Wow.
Like people that, you know, do I fucking know the names right now? No.
Probably not, no.
Give a fuck. But point being is I know that that's a fact.
Yeah.
Because that is the outlet. That is the only key to success. Now, you want to talk about drive and motivation? Those people have that.
100%.
Because they probably couldn't be more fucking driven than it. They're the most driven people on the planet.
Exactly.
Because they're like, I only have one fucking focus. It is to become an NFL football player. And they will do everything possible.
Yeah. 100%. Because they've got, a lot of the time, they've got no option.
No.
But yeah, that's good. It was good to talk about that. I don't know why that question came to my head.
I really like that question.
But it did.
Thanks, man.
It did. So this is big. Neymar buys £54 million penthouse at the Bugatti building in Dubai.
I saw that last night. There's a lot of talk of him leaving Al Hilal or whatever.
Is that what the team's called? Yeah. That sounds like a wind up. Al Hilal. Yeah, are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow.
I swear to God, it's Al Hilal. Now I might not be pronouncing it right because I'm American, but the spelling's right. So I saw that he bought this Bugatti building, penthouse tower, blah blah blah, $54 million. That's a fucking
chump change to that guy.
I mean, yeah. But imagine. But by the way, he's only like 31 years old or 33 years old.
Why did I think the Bugatti building was in Florida?
I believe they might. I don't think they're building one actually in Florida. They're building a Baccarat tower in Miami, but they're also building a Baccarat in Dubai.
I mean, I should maybe go and visit the £54 million penthouse.
What I would do, you know, because I know how wealthy you are, I would show up and request a tour.
Just demand.
Tell them like, okay, well, I'm gonna.
Do you know who I am? I'm on the Value Proposition podcast.
Wait, I think we should talk about lunch yesterday. Okay, so we're at lunch yesterday. This is for the audience, the viewers.
Oh God, I don't even know what you're gonna say here.
I know, it's kind of scary. So we're at lunch yesterday, Andy and I, having great lunch. I went to Dundee. I hadn't really stayed there ever. I've never really enjoyed Dundee. Neither has anyone that lived there. And,
Either has anyone that's ever been.
no. So it's not fucking, crazy. But when we were at lunch, the waitress, lovely the Canadian girl,
Yeah.
and her fiance plays hockey, and
Yeah.
you know a lot of similar people.
Yeah.
And she came up to us before we left, and she was like, "Oh, well, I think I recognize you guys." And so I'm like, "Oh, you must have seen our podcast." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah, no,
And he was
but
fucking stitches.
Callum said this with the straightest face you've ever seen in your life,
Sincerity.
and I thought that you were like serious, and it took me a minute to be like, is this guy taking the piss or is he serious? And then it clicked that you were joking, but
So we're close to famous because we're getting recognized for actual famous people. That we're not.
see, to be honest,
But-
that actually happened. Hello. It actually used to happen to me all the time in Dundee because my face used to be on my for sale board. You know, like Remax agents all have their face on the for sale board. Like, I remember I was in Tesco getting shopping,
Yeah.
and the girl's looking at me, and she's really looking at me, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? And then she's like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like,
I don't think so.
"Oh, no." She's like, "I should have seen your face." I'm like, "Well, I sell houses. You maybe seen my face on a for sale board."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Have you got a house for sale on
So and so.
Dalhousie Street?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, well, I drive past your sign every day." But it's amazing that the for sale board gets that person thing. It's great for your personal brand.
Yeah.
Again, that all pushes into personal brand.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked about that enough in the last episode.
Yeah. But
Fucking sick of talking about that.
anyhow, yeah. So I would recommend you stop by and see if they have a sales center though. Why not? We could sell that.
Yeah.
We picked one up in West Palm Beach. We can pick one up in Dubai, baby.
Yeah. We actually could. I should go in and speak to them.
100%.
I wonder how it works with. They'll have a listing agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go in and speak to them.
Okay.
We've got our Rolodex.
Do we ever?
We might not,
have
but we've got
outlets.
access to.
We have access to the
Big
people
AB.
who have the money, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Geez, we're jumping right in here.
Are we going straight into overrated, underrated?
Overrated, underrated.
Oh God! You know what will be nice is when we can like afford to put in music into.
Oh,
our
I could do that.
What? You could have done that this whole time.
I could do that, yeah.
I feel like we should have music for this part. Like a little- Yeah, you know, like,
Right, okay, that's enough.
Wait, have you ever seen? Have you watched those
Trump.
memes of the Trump? Yeah. That's fucking legendary, by the way. Everyone in the world's fucking doing it. I saw a guy who plays for Barnsley.
Did you not see John Jones when he won? Did you not see it?
No.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So, overrated, underrated.
All right.
Oh, God.
So I asked you last
Yeah,
time.
so I'm asking you. I'm asking
my
you.
turn.
Right, Callum, overrated, underrated.
Yep.
New Year's Eve,
Overrated,
golf,
underrated,
deep fried food.
underrated.
Oh,
It's
underrated.
fucking pretty
Let's
good.
talk about that. Bill
Yeah.
Gates.
Overrated. Way overrated.
The Mediterranean. What the fuck? Is that what that says?
Yeah. Appropriately rated.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Underrated.
Let's talk about him. Paris.
Overrated. Shit.
It fucking stinks
Shit.
there. Eh? Fish and chips.
Overrated.
Porn.
Overrated.
Honestly, it is.
Honestly, I mean it.
What do you mean?
Fucking sweat.
What's porn?
Who? I've never met him.
Oh yeah, you have.
Oh. Oh God.
So let's talk about some of these.
Yeah, I think we should.
Oh, I missed out. Did I miss out golf?
No.
Did I ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say?
Underrated.
Oh, did
It's
you?
massively underrated.
I think golf's rated right.
No. That's the sport of business professionals.
I agree.
See? Underrated. No one ever thinks about that. People go, oh, golf's fucking lame and this and that.
So one thing about golf is
4 hours,
When
undivided.
else do you get somebody's undivided attention for 4 hours?
Unless you ever wanted to join the Value Proposition podcast.
I'm looking for a new co-host. Just saying.
He's looking for someone with fucking hair.
I don't mind the hair, it's the personality.
That was fucking funny. That was funny. I like that. Okay. Gary V. Oh no, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
I don't really.
Pedo.
I've never really watched Bill Gates.
I don't think I can say that.
No. Let's not talk about Bill Gates. I
Yeah,
don't really
fuck
like
it.
Bill
Honestly,
Gates.
it's too controversial.
I don't like him.
Next thing, Gary V.
Gary V.
Not really that controversial.
I really like Gary V.
I think his enthusiasm about business is unmatched.
You're still young, man.
He's like fucking like what? Like,
You got time.
Even when I watch a video of him, I feel like he's talking to me specifically. It's quite amazing.
But what he did really is,
Oh my God.
I mean, we started off like Wine Library TV. I think, to be honest, the most impressive thing about him is the predictions that he's made.
That's true.
That is like some Simpsons shit. Like the way that he's been able to predict Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. He's like a pioneer in that space.
Yeah.
You know that it was Gary V that made Logan Paul. We kind of touched on Logan Paul in the last episode, but it was Gary V. What? You're a creep.
I know.
It was
I can't
Gary
help
V
myself.
that found Logan Paul on Vine.
Really?
He won a competition. Gary V selected the winner. Logan Paul was the winner, and that's what catapulted Logan Paul's career.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm cracking my fingers. My hands are really fucking cold. I agree with you 100% on all that.
let's actually talk about porn,
Okay.
because that's an interesting topic.
Let's do it.
But so many, I mean, that's a big topic nowadays in like over.
How personal do you want to get with this, by the way? Because I have tons of questions.
I mean, I'm not getting naked.
No, no.
You're a creep. You know?
What I'm fucking saying. Oh my God.
Well, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think it affects the brain the way that these scientists say it does? Well, I suppose you would know because you've not stopped watching it.
I finished it. There's nothing left.
Actually, let's not talk about. Let's not talk
let's
about.
just
it.
quickly. Let's just quickly brush on it because I think it is an important thing. Like, you know, it's an exposure of this sort of like, fantasy laden world where, you know, it constantly gets more and more that you're pushing the boundaries of reality and sort of that novelty experience that you're always looking for a little bit more. And
What's the dopamine thing, right?
yeah, like of course with most things, like with alcohol, you get the buzz, and then you know the first 3 beers are the best, and then you stop, and then your blood alcohol goes level or down,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh well, I need to have a couple more now because I need to get back.
I've got an interesting topic. I was talking to my uncle about this the other day, and it's to do with porn. So I was talking to my uncle about porn.
By the way, that is
No, so you know that if you look at the porn industry is normally predicted the next thing that will take off. So for example, for a while it was like DVD or Blu-ray, something
Yeah.
like that. And whichever one that porn ended, there's like 2 brands that compete with each other. And normally, even though one's better or one's maybe not as good, whichever one the porn industry's selected has been the one that's gone on to do better than the
what's
other
the
one.
next thing then?
Cryptocurrency. Supposedly. Bitcoin.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fucking interesting.
So normally the porn industry and criminals, whichever one these two adopt, whichever industry or whichever thing that these two adopt,
Yeah.
because there's so much of it that goes on,
Yeah,
normally is the thing that will take off.
that's very interesting.
I didn't really explain that very well, to be honest with you.
No, I think I get it. I
So,
get
yeah.
your point, but I think obviously from a corruption
I
standpoint,
really didn't explain that well in the slightest.
we can always retry.
I totally butchered that. No.
Okay,
No, because I can't. I don't even know how I would be able to explain it better.
we're not going to film that again, if you will.
No.
So yeah, but I think we can move on. What? What's so fucking funny about that slide?
Okay, it was just funny. Okay, calm.
Yeah. Andy.
If tomorrow didn't exist, what would you do today?
I remember
Porn.
I remember talking about this last night. I don't know if you remember my answer.
Were you speaking to Alan about it, or were you speaking to me about it?
You.
I can't remember.
All right. Well, get ready for this.
Fuck.
No, I'll give you a serious answer because yesterday I was just joking around. Just being an asshole. This kind of ties in nicely with some of the stuff from the last episode, actually. We should have asked this question in the last episode. But I'm glad we're bringing it up now. That's me stalling, trying to figure out an answer.
Yeah. You do that a lot.
I do that very often.
You know, when you're thinking about what to say, you say this. Great question.
It's a really good question.
Yeah, because if you buy yourself 10 seconds. I love the way you asked that question, and
I'm just thinking about it.
it's
right
a really
now.
great question.
It's so well worded. I love the way you've described that question. The vernacular is impressive. If tomorrow didn't exist, right? So tomorrow's promised to nobody. Nobody gets the guaranteed, locked in, tomorrow's good. Right? There could be a million things that happen, unfortunate circumstances. Right? There's a lot of people who are, our age, and they just fall over and die. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's horrifying. But it's also,
yeah.
That's reality. We are very fragile creatures, humans. So if tomorrow I knew it wasn't going to happen, and I think this is what you say, so I'm going to steal your answer. You would surround yourself and do the things that you love with the people you love. That's word for word what you would have said.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No.
What is it then?
It is. It is in a roundabout way.
Okay.
I said, that's my definition of happiness. We've talked about this before, is that doing things you love with the people that you love.
Yeah, I think that probably...
And that's when you asked me this yesterday as well, and that's what I said.
That's what you said.
I would do something I love with the people I love.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I knew that tomorrow didn't exist.
And that's a good question for the audience to answer. We've been asking for audience participation.
Well, I saw a thing not that long ago, and it was about a guy who had been there for thousands of people's last moments, elderly people. And one thing that he talked about,
that's crazy.
Nobody ever says, "Oh, can you show me all the trophies I won? Can you show me all the accolades that I've got? I want to see all my medals."
Yeah.
They only want one thing, and they want the people that they love to be with them.
What will your headstone say when you die?
Don't know.
It's a good question, by the way.
It'll say the day that I was born. It'll say the day that I died. It's exactly what say the same as yours.
You don't want any words written on it.
No, not
You're
really.
sort of lasting. That's kind of like forever lasting.
You know what I would get put on it?
What?
Find a way.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's my favorite quote.
From your old hockey coach.
Find a way.
Dude, I didn't know you had those. That's horrifying. But I do love that.
Find a way. It's my favorite quote. And yeah, my old hockey coach said it, yeah. It's so basic. But it can be be said to anything in life.
Absolutely. It covers everything.
Yeah.
I like that. Find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way. What would mine be? I'd probably say oh no. What would I say? I don't even fucking know what I'd say. I don't know. Who cares what I want to say? Next thing. So, a quick note from our sponsors. And this is brought to you by we don't have sponsors.
No, don't be silly.
Just fucking wasting time.
So, what we should actually maybe touch on is
Yep. You love saying that.
boxing. So, we talked about Jake Paul a bit in the last episode, but let's actually talk about like
the business
what's
of
your
boxing?
thoughts on the YouTube boxing space?
Wow. I think you had a pretty good statement in the last episode where you said it was probably for the purists not enjoyable, and it kind of defeats the purpose because it's a little bit more entertainment based than physical exertion.
Yeah.
That's probably fair. But I mean, it would be a very bad business decision for some of these guys who are saying, who Jake Paul is calling out saying, "Hey, I'll fight you," to not take the fight because you're going to make more money in that fight than you'll ever make anytime. And
Probably-
what is the point of sport? I mean, of course, we understand there's competition, but like every sport is making more money than it ever made 5 years ago.
Yeah,
So
of course,
just join it. Who cares? You're going to become, I mean, people who box, like you're fucking damaging your body severely.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well have some extra cash on hand.
Well, that's why it makes sense for a lot of these fighters these old UFC fighters. I mean, they're making more money fighting Jake Paul than what they've made in their whole UFC career.
Yeah, so you just have to, you just have to do it. And what they've done, you know, as far as like, I mean, the WWE, UFC, am I missing something else? Like the World Boxing Association or whatever they're called.
Federation.
Oof. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what it is.
World Boxing Organization, maybe. It doesn't matter. But the point is, like, these sort of industries and what they're getting into with the social media combination. I mean, I saw something about how it's the guy's name, like iShowSpeed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was calling out Jake Paul, and he was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass."
By the way, have you seen him jumping over the two Lamborghinis?
Yeah.
That's not fake.
No.
That's real.
He's fucking athletic.
Did you see him do the?
Remember when
the
he tried, and then he tried to fucking race Noah
he did a
Lyles?
50-meter sprint, and he only got beat by like milliseconds.
Well, I saw another thing that he ran like a 4.1 40-yard dash.
Yeah, quicker than all the NFL players.
Yeah. I didn't realize how freaky
He's athletic
that guy
he
was.
He did a YouTube thing. He would try to do like 5,000 backflips in 24 hours.
I saw that. Yeah. How many backflips could you do?
On a trampoline?
No.
On the floor?
Yeah.
Using my hands? Or
Can you do one right now for the audience?
No. There's not enough space.
Okay. Can you do a cartwheel?
Obviously.
Okay, just checking.
I'm an athlete.
All 64 kilos of you?
74.
74, so fuck. Yeah.
Here's one, moving on from Jake Paul. Athletes that make a lot of money, maybe young athletes. Now, you just kind of touched on it there.
Yeah.
Athletes now make more money than what they have ever done so before.
Yeah.
Do you know that some crazy stat that like 80% of athletes go bankrupt after,
Yeah.
at some stage in their life after they finish playing professional sports? Now, people need to understand that that sounds like, oh my God, that's so many. But that's athletes as a whole.
Yeah.
When people say athletes, they think about the top 5, maybe 2%
Sure.
of moneymakers. These guys don't go broke. They've got lifetime generational wealth from their sports.
Yeah.
But maybe an athlete just now that's making...
Well, I think
I
about
don't know.
Olympians. Olympians probably have it really tough.
Yeah.
You know, they're grinding every day
Yeah.
to make a buck.
Yeah.
They get
Well, so an athlete,
paid nothing.
say an athlete that's making a bit, maybe say a young guy who's playing for a football team, maybe making a bit, not loads of money, but a bit of money. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Right? What do they do with their money? What should they do with their money? What would you advise that they do with their money?
Well, obviously, speak to me because I'll fucking take care of that. You know, it's probably a difficult position for them to be in because they don't have enough money to probably pay like some sort of, you know, wealth advisor of sorts or wealth management guy. So, you know, 10 grand, yeah, you're probably not making enough for that. Because there are certain minimums that you're going to have to meet.
Yeah.
Like if you're Marcus Rashford, you can have anything you want.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, you're probably making so much money it doesn't matter. I mean, like, remember when he crashed his fucking Rolls Royce, whatever? He had like a 1-of-1 Rolls Royce and he fucking crashed it like 3 months ago or 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the same paycheck for the month that he did that the car cost. It didn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, but these guys,
Say somebody that's managed to save up 100 grand. I don't know.
The thing is, like, so they have to figure out what their actual outgoings are going to be. What investments can they afford to make, right? So if they came to me, obviously they're coming to me for real estate. And that's obviously a pretty good idea because what are they going to do in the off season, hypothetically? Well, they're probably going to take some time away, do some private training, hang out with their family if they have one, all that stuff. So yeah, maybe they should invest in some real estate because then they can maybe utilize it and enjoy it themselves, but they're also building their wealth and they have something other than just playing football because I've become an acquaintance with a professional footballer, and he
Soccer
played
or football?
soccer. Sorry, fuck.
But when you say football, I automatically
every
think
every time. And anyway, so he played for one of the best clubs in the world. Right? You didn't even know this.
Who?
I can't tell you. Anyways, this is a real fucking story. And his like outgoings were about 40 to 50 grand a month, but he was making enough through almost like a grandfather deal, and he retired fairly early, whatever. Not fairly early, but early. Not like 38, but he was probably 35, 34. But he invested a ton in real estate. All over the place. It didn't matter where it was. He had a team in place, but he was making good money, so let's keep that in mind. But he had a team in place where he was making strategic investments that were feeding back his outgoings. And he was able to do just fine after football because the best agents in the planet will tell their players, what are you going to do after football's done? What is life after football going to be like for you?
Yeah, I think that for a lot of these young athletes who are making good money, I mean, whether it be decent money as in like 10 grand a month or whether it be mad like, over 100, 200, 300 grand a month, right? Yeah. Or sometimes even a week for some of these football players.
Unbelievable.
I think that it's important that you look at your long-term goal.
Yeah.
What do you want from your investments?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
I think that real estate's with that kind of wealth, real estate's always a good play because you get the dividend payments, you get the monthly payments back. Yeah. So when you stop playing football, you have something. You're still getting income.
Yeah.
I think one big thing that I like about property as well is that you can leverage your money.
Yeah.
For a lot of investments like the stock market, you can't leverage your money. You're getting a return based on the amount that you're putting into the stock market. With real estate, you're leveraging your money. So you're maybe putting down 25 grand, but you've got something that's worth 100.
Yeah.
And the return that you're getting is based off the £100,000, not based off the 25 grand that you put down.
Oh, sorry, bud. There's something that I definitely want to touch on real fast, piggybacking off of this sort of concept. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a universal life index?
No.
Or sorry, no. Index universal life. Fuck me. I almost fucked that up.
No, I've not.
Index universal life is it's like a life insurance policy that you can take out, but you can utilize that and leverage it to offset and taxes. I think it's actually tax free, basically. So there's an NFL coach, former college coach, Jim Harbaugh. He would always write into his contracts that he would get paid, and then he would bump up his insurance on his life insurance, and then he would leverage all of that against whatever he was looking to do with it. And he does that all the time. So his life insurance has got to be fucking $200 million by now. But he always pays it off. He pays off the premium immediately, and then he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it, and it doesn't matter. It's like basically free money. I'm just starting to learn about this concept, so like, sorry if that's all wrong, but I don't think it's too far off. But I just started, and it's something that we need to do some research on ourselves. Not to suggest that we're going to be fucking making 200 million.
There's another one. There's another idea, guys.
Constantly throwing it out.
Come on camera this time.
I know. Oh, that's true. Oh, no, I'm fucking stuck. But it's something that that wealthy people, and this is something that your average person does not understand. They do not understand that you can utilize these things because they go, and look, I understand that life is hard. Like, no one wants to dish out $1,000 a month or $500 a month towards a life insurance policy so that in 11 years' time they can make enough money to take out cash.
Yeah.
Or to take all of it out and leverage that. I mean, you can use that to buy a house. And depending on what you want your life insurance policy to be, you can make a fucking massive difference to your life just from that.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting.
But the thing for me is tying that in with real estate makes perfect sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes perfect sense.
It's like for us tying in the NFT to the tokenization.
Exactly.
Which is what we can talk about that again another time.
I can't wait.
I've got some questions I'd like to ask you, and you can ask back whatever.
Okay.
To do with sales. So, if you could give one piece of advice to somebody starting off in sales today, they've never been in sales in their life, they don't know anything about the industry, what's the one piece of advice you would give them if they've just started a job in sales?
Wow, that's a good question.
Buying time again.
Well, I have a couple ideas. What I did, and I've also mentioned this, since it's not a scapegoat answer. I'm not trying to dodge the question. It's something that I did myself, and I'm also very lucky to have access to someone like this. Is to find that mentor.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think, kind of what we're almost trying to be that with our
100%.
But you have to have someone who's done it year in, year out.
You need
more than once, by the way. You have to do it more than once. Otherwise, it's you could just chalk that down a lot.
You need direction.
You need someone to go, this is what you're going to do for the next year, and you're going to follow this plan every single day. And if you do 1 to 10, you will be successful. Because it goes back to what we talked about last episode. It's about structure. It's about discipline. It's about having someone say, here you go. We'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And commit. If you commit, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you need to commit. That's huge.
That would be one of my answers.
I think one piece of advice that I would give anyone that's going into their first sales job is learn your product. Learn what you're selling.
I like that.
Learn your unique selling points and learn why people are wanting to buy. If you can figure out why people have bought it in the past behavior normally predicts future behavior.
Yep.
So if you can figure out why people have bought that in the past, you'll be able to figure out what's going to make people buy that again.
Yeah.
And I think that one thing that's overlooked is learning all about your product. People say, oh, you work in sales, you're a people person. No, really, yeah, okay, maybe I am a people person, but
it's more of a switch that you can turn on.
Being a people person has nothing to do with being good at sales. It's like we've kind of touched on it before. Sales is about two things: trust and theatre.
Yeah.
You need to build the trust from the start. You need to build the rapport from the start. They need to trust you. If they don't trust you, they're never going to buy from you. That's why car salesmen get such a bad rep.
Yep.
Because they're known for being slimy.
10 minutes.
And they just want one thing from you, and that's you to make the sale.
Yeah.
Now,
they just approach it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that if you're just starting off, learn your market, learn the product that you're selling. For example, if you're selling cars, learn everything there is to know about the cars that you're selling.
Yeah.
Learn all about the people who are coming in to buy the cars. So, for example, if somebody's coming in, genuinely be interested in them.
Yeah.
Don't just try and sell to them.
And you
be
can
interested
do a lot of
in
homework on that. Like let's say you're selling Audis. Who's the target audience for Audis? Business people with a bit of money. I mean, you're spending $50,000 on a sedan, 50,000 pounds on a sedan. You can try to figure out who that archetype of client and individual is. So when you walk in, you know what vocabulary you need to use to also win their trust, because you need to speak like them. The more you speak like them, the more that we can mirror each other, the more likely you are to trust me, right?
Yeah.
It's just like never mind.
Well, it's one crazy story, right?
Yeah.
See the way I'm sitting right now?
Yeah.
I never used to sit like this, ever.
No.
You've heard of mirroring?
Yeah.
Right? So I used to find that so uncomfortable.
Really? Okay.
And
what made you change?
I'm going to tell you. So recently, or since I've started working where I'm working now,
yep,
a lot of the clients that I'm dealing with sit like this, right? And I picked up on it.
Yeah.
So I started doing it first. So I would, if I'm sitting with you and you're sitting normal,
yeah,
I'd go like this. Guess what?
They would do it.
They would do it.
Yeah.
I'd go like this.
I just pinched my ball.
Guess what? They would do it. I would go like this. They would do it.
Yeah.
And
do you ever just slightly tilt your head a little bit and they go, it's a little creepy, but it's also a very, very good indicator.
It's a technique to show how a sale is progressing, or to show the level of trust.
Yeah.
And that's why I sit like that. I find it comfy now because I've got used to it. But learn your market, learn where your product is better than your competition. Like, I mean, we've used cars as an example. Obviously, we sell real estate,
God,
so
sorry, I'm just
I don't really want to use that as an example. But say you sell stationery, find out about all the people who are looking to buy stationery.
yeah.
What kind of stationery you're looking to buy, at what price point.
Watch The Office. You'll get a really good idea.
I think one thing that ties into this is that I really like. I mean, we've said that Jordan Belfort maybe isn't the greatest person to. Some of his stuff's great, by the way.
Oh,
but
yeah,
a lot of his
yeah.
stuff, I think, is he's a criminal for a start.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But a lot of his stuff's good. One thing that's really interesting is the sell me this pen.
That's a good one.
So most people, for the audience, if I was to give a pen to your average person, say, sell me this pen, they would start saying, oh, well, this pen, it's a great pen, it writes well, it writes smooth.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell the product instantly. For a start, you don't even know if that person's in the market to buy a pen.
No.
If somebody says to you, sell me this pen, what kinds of pens have you used in the past? What size of pen do you like? What price point of pen are you looking at?
Yeah.
Sales is about asking questions.
Yeah.
If you can ask the right questions,
Yeah.
listen, like we've talked about,
Yeah.
ask the right questions, listen again, they will start to sell whatever product you're selling
Yeah.
to themselves, and they'll start selling it back to you.
Think about that sort of logic for a home. So I got a client and they come in and I go, by the way, the floors are like fucking absolutely magnificent. They're 24-inch tile by 6. And by the way, the bathroom upstairs has a fucking heated toilet seat. And did you see these light fixtures? They're fucking amazing, by the way. And I haven't even asked them one question about why they're even there with me. They'd be like, I'm fucking going to leave now.
Yeah.
You would never do that. And if you are doing that, please stop.
It's not
Or if someone's told you that, please don't do that.
The thing is, they can see all these things that you're talking about. So one thing that I used to do, this will hopefully help a couple of people, and this is actually going to be in the 10-step guide. So this is a little insight, a little preview. So throughout a viewing process, when you're selling a home, people think your average estate agent will just tour them around the property. Now, that does absolutely nothing whatsoever.
No.
The first question I would always ask a viewer when I first meet them at the property is, what are you looking for in a house? What's your old house got? What's your old house not got that you're looking for in a new house?
Yeah.
They then start telling you that they're looking for a bigger master bedroom. They're looking for a walk-in shower in the ensuite. They're looking for a south-facing garden. They're looking for blah, 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 blah. Now, I will then take note of all of the things that they've told me that they're looking for. They're looking for 4 double bedrooms, and there's maybe... Now, this is where knowing your service and knowing your market comes into it, because I will have researched all the homes on the market in that area, and I'll know exactly what I'm up against with the house I'm selling. I would be able to say to them, I know that you've just told me that you're looking for 4 double bedrooms. How are you getting on finding a house in the area with 4 double bedrooms, knowing fine well that there's no other houses in the area at this price point that's got 4 double bedrooms?
Yeah.
You're selling in a roundabout way. You're not forcing the product down their throat.
No.
And it's subtle. People don't like being sold to, but they love shopping with friends.
Yeah.
Be nice. Get on with them. Help them out.
description.
Seem genuinely interested.
Yeah.
Seem genuinely interested. Don't just seem genuinely interested. Be genuinely interested. And I think that if you can change the way that you look at sales, rather than you're a sales guy that's screaming and shouting about your product, find out about your buyer, find out about what they're looking for, find out their thoughts, their feelings, and that will help you sell. Because then you'll know what to talk about. There's no point in me walking around the property saying to somebody that this is a great south-facing garden when they might want a north-facing garden. I've just ruined the sale because they didn't know that it was south-facing, but I've just told them it was south-facing. Yeah. So, now that's just an example. That would never happen because everyone wants a south-facing garden. But that's just an example of find out, know your market, learn your competition, and be genuinely interested in your prospect.
Yeah.
Regardless as to what you're selling.
Well said. I like the description there. It's a great answer.
I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Book recommendations.
Okay.
Three books.
Oh, 3 books.
3 books. 3 must reads
3 must
for our
reads.
audience. If somebody said to you, I want the 3 best book recommendations that... You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay.
Trying to think of my third one.
So, without a doubt, the first one.
Can I guess? Atomic Habits.
No.
Never split the difference.
Atomic Habits. We've talked about this one. I talked about it a lot in the last episode. That's the first book. If you are just going to wait to start reading.
When did you start reading?
Seriously.
Yeah. At like a accelerated level.
Well, I've always been able to read. But I mean, I've only taken reading like more serious over the last year and a bit. As in, like, got enjoyment out of reading.
Right.
I never used to like it. I used to hate reading.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you've kind of just getting into self-help, self-development, growth mindset, Atomic Habits is the first book to read because it lays the foundation moving forward.
Agreed.
Second book I would read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Awesome book, Dale Carnegie.
Yep.
This book essentially teaches you how to influence people, how to build strong relationships. Yeah. And again, it's big on being genuinely interested in people, kind of what I've just talked about there. And the third one, probably between 2, but I would go with Never Split the Difference.
That's a good one, isn't it?
By Chris Voss. Yeah. It's about negotiating and, again, probably influence, negotiating, reading people.
Yeah.
Mirroring, there's a lot of mirroring, talking about mirroring in that book. Tonality. I mean, all these things come into business and sales.
Yeah.
3 books, Callum.
Okay. It's a good question. Number 1 for me, I'm going to say that I it's actually a book I'm currently reading, so pardon me for this. It seems a bit fucking cheesy, but the 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson is currently blowing my mind. It's simple, not in the language usage or anything like that. That's very complex and confusing at times. But once you start to break that down, and we talked about it yesterday, the actual principles themselves they're tiny, but they're all, to me, I'm interpreting them as 1%. Like if I do these things, I will benefit myself long term. Yeah,
I couldn't read it.
Yeah,
it was just
too much.
It was too much for me.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm actually reading it faster than I thought I would.
Yeah, which
is good. But more importantly, I'm actually trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins, Life Force. That was a great book.
Never read it.
That's a really, really interesting read. Wow, wait, I'm trying to fucking scratch that. No. Because I'm trying to think of like more businessy related books. The Psychology of Money is unbelievable book. That's also like almost a classic, really. Mm-hmm. If you want to become sort of more finance literate, that would be a book I would recommend. Or what is it? Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great book.
Fucking Robert.
That just changes your perspective and your outlook on the way that you see money.
Yeah, we typically, because we're not taught about money when we're young.
No.
You know, I mean, there's no finance courses when you're young. So you kind of need to learn how to do that, to be honest, if you're going to enter any business at all.
Yeah.
Like that's more of a foundational thing. And then The Creature from Jekyll Island would be my third. You ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah. I'm not spoiling that for anybody. Just go fucking read it. It is so important you read that book.
What's it called?
The Creature from Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island's in Florida.
Okay.
Well, technically it's on the border.
Who wrote the book? Do you know?
Georgia and North Florida. Jekyll Island's in Georgia.
Who wrote the book?
Don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I've got some more, but let's save that for later episodes. I think that's 6 books.
Those are good books.
I've not read some of the ones that you just mentioned, so I'm going to read them.
I need to reread Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. Honestly,
I only have the audiobook, and I really want to read it.
This sounds so cheesy, right? But it honestly changed my life.
That does sound really cheesy.
It did. It changes the way that you look at daily tasks.
Yeah.
It like teaches you. It almost teaches you discipline.
Yeah.
Because discipline's a habit.
Yeah.
Discipline is a habit. Consistency is a habit. Everything in life is a habit.
Yeah.
And it teaches you how to break down, learn, get rid of old habits, create new habits. You almost learn the psychology behind a habit.
Yeah.
And it is super helpful. And,
I've got an idea,
and
by
a
the
lot
way.
of things, that, sorry, I'll let you finish in a second, but a lot of things that bad habits I had, I didn't actually realize that I had them until I read that book.
Wow. So just highlighted and pointed out for you.
Well, because you're more aware.
Sure.
Sorry, carry on.
Awareness, self-awareness. We've talked about that a lot in the last couple episodes. No, what I think we should do, and it might be also something that the audience could participate in. We should take a personality test.
Yeah.
We should do that, and we should have everyone engage in that with us. I think that would be fantastic. Have you ever heard of 16 personalities?
No.
So it basically breaks everyone into you're in one category or another out of 16.
Well, it's like the personality types.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that normally you're a mix of two.
No.
No?
You fall into one.
Oh, one of the 16.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is
there's four grades, and then within that there's four different
so
types.
it's like the driver, expressive, amiable, analytical, and then you break them up. They can be broken up into subcategories, like probably another 8 subcategories after that. Yeah.
Because it's like, so I'm and I take it like once a year just to see if I've changed at all. I'm yet to change, which is weird, but I'm an ENFJ.
ENFJ.
Yeah.
And what is one characteristic of an ENFJ?
Bollocks. I wouldn't remember off the top of my head. That's how fucking much I pay attention to myself. Do I have my phone with me?
We can talk about it after.
All right, yeah. Next thing. But we should do that. I think we should do that.
I'm going to do that.
We'll do that today.
Let's do it today, yeah.
Yeah. Not during the episode, after.
Of course.
Yeah. And then we'll share that. We'll share our newfound...
Yeah, let's do that.
Personality.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And then obviously participate.
There's one app that I use quite a lot that's good for all this kind of thing. Like, it's like a brain training app. It's called Impulse. That's what I took my IQ test on.
Yeah, obviously.
Which was higher than yours.
Fucking obviously inflling your
much
numbers
higher than yours.
Much higher. Yeah.
Much higher than yours.
If it was a percentage,
136.
If it was a percentage, it would be less than a percent.
What was yours? 135?
Yeah.
And mine was 136.
Yeah. So
I actually use that app quite a lot. Like, the games on it are quite fun, and it's like brain stimulating. Well, it's not like I'm sitting playing Candy Crush. Angry Birds.
I knocked them all over. This is amazing.
But you know what I mean,
little
right?
Andy in the corner just fucking...
You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, no. I have taken all of the tests, actually. We could do that.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
You're autistic.
Yep.
I mean, artistic.
Artistic. Thank you. I use my left side of the brain.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean... I think that it's a good app. It's a good app. I enjoy it. And you can take ADHD tests. You can take...
Do you have ADHD?
I don't know. I never took that test.
I don't remember.
But no, I don't think I do have ADHD.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a shitty joke.
Yeah, it was.
Typically.
It's just, you've got a shitty personality. But
I know. That's what it said.
Yeah.
It said you have a shitty personality. I'm like, fucking well.
No, so let's do that.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Yep.
And let's talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know when we're going to have time to film the next
because you're going to be in
episode.
Dubai. But
and then you're going to be in Mexico.
Possibly. Yeah. So we'll have to figure that out. But stay tuned.
But we'll take the personality test. We'll share our
results.
We've got, over the next probably week or so, we're hopefully going to get out the waiting list for the 10-step guide, 10 steps to 100K for an estate agent. We'll get the waiting list out, then we'll get the 10 steps out as a mini course.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun, so stay tuned for that.
Please do.
We will also have a high ticket offer at some stage that's a full in-depth course. Yeah. That's going to be really helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, this 10-step guide is going to be good, and it's going to outline everything that you need in order to be on your way to closing more deals. 100%.
And I also, I mean, you tell me if I'm kind of going down the wrong direction here, but I also don't think that it would hurt people who have already kind of been in the industry for a couple of years.
Oh,
because
100%. That's what it's for.
I've been brought aware as to like what the education is like over here, and not to say that's any better in America. In America, there are tons of people I know that need this.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
Somebody who's been there, done that, real world examples of things that go on in this industry, not just some real estate sales coach that's actually never sold a property before. Yeah. I mean, that is ludicrous. Would you go and ask for business advice from somebody who's never ran a business? No. This is why universities and I mean, we talked about that before, but it's why universities and business it doesn't make sense to me. But we've been there, we've done it, and I think that people can learn from that. I would like to think that people can learn from that. Starting off with the 10-step guide to 100, or the 10 steps to 100K. Yeah. And then the community is going to be huge as well, because that's going to be consistent value. Yeah.
And that's a good way for us to connect with people and for them to reach out and say, hey, by the way, like, can we connect one-on-one? Can we connect two-on-one? Certainly
I think that'll do. I think that's us. All right. I think that's us.
Is that us for the episode?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No fucking shit.
It's been an hour.
Fuck. I was just starting to enjoy that. Okay, whatever.
Oh, at least you were enjoying it.
I know.
No, this is good. This is good fun. So, we always forget to say this, but if everyone can, I know you're not given many jobs. This is one of the only jobs that you've got, and you can't even do it.
God, that's fucking hilarious.
If you could please, pretty please, like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. Engagement would be great to help us grow.
Perfect. Well said.
So
no. We love that, and also we're very appreciative for the people who have been reaching out to us individually and to the actual page itself. It means a lot, actually.
It does. So
because it makes me happy when I'm like, oh well, maybe someone took something out of that.
Yeah. I think one thing that we're going to talk about this afternoon and probably post it on YouTube is a lot more about the tokenization. We're going to keep that separate. Yeah. Maybe some people won't be interested in it. So that's soon to come too.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
It'll actually probably already be out because this episode is going to get released in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll definitely have
So forget that. Anyway, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers, Callum.
Cheers, Andy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, it's like 3 weeks away, so I think we'll just fucking scrap that. What are you doing? You fucking robot. Oh, man.
Oh, I forgot.
I know you did. I'm aware. By the way,